What's going on, everyone? Talon here,
And Gringo.
and welcome to a video that we have not done yet, or have not even done a similar video to of on our channel. So we're actually going to be talking a little bit about our thoughts and kind of opinion on the game itself, and kind of how past updates and previous updates, and kind of just where they seem to be going with the game here.
Yeah, we just kind of wanted to wait a little bit. Like, we didn't want to get too worked up over, like, one or two updates. So we waited, like, another two or three just to see where they went with it. Because obviously nobody liked the Ultimates update.
Yep.
So maybe we were thinking maybe that's just kind of a one-time thing. They were just trying it just to see how people liked it. Obviously they switched it up. They're still hard to get, but I mean, at least they're obtainable in a way that you don't necessarily have to pay for. They take a long time, but I mean, that's why we play the game, is to like build up our characters from.
Yep, they definitely take a very, very long time. I mean, I haven't been personally focusing on them in the processor right now. I was trying to work on X23, which we can actually get here now with this new update, which I'm happy about that part of the update. So I guess we'll kind of just start off with how the past couple updates have been so bad. That's kind of why we decided, hey, maybe it's time to give a little bit of our thoughts on where this is going here, and kind of maybe if they are listening, see if we can give them a few suggestions on where to go.
Yeah, maybe somebody sees it, maybe not, but
yeah. So start off with first of all saying what's with all of the premium characters at once. I'm having a stroke here because of this update. No, just kidding. But yeah, why so many premium characters? I don't think they were struggling when they were doing like one paywall character an update. I mean, were they really doing that bad?
Is I actually today earlier for like a couple hours, I spent time actually going online and looking up how much Netmarble has made over the past couple years.
Oh, okay.
And it's not really small amounts. Like I was looking at stuff month by month, and there were websites saying in February they made, well, some websites were saying like 1.1 million to 2 million in a month just from the US.
Oh.
So that's like 1.1 to 2 million just from the US. That's not South Korea or anything where it's super booming. And then I think I read that in like 2017, 2016 as a whole, they made 295 billion won, which is the South Korea currency.
Yeah.
But one won is like, it's like, I think it was like 0.000933, so like 1,000th of a dollar.
Yeah.
So it kind of translated to like I think it was like $280 million US. But I mean, that's still not a bad number. Like that's profits.
And that was from Future Fight, because they have a lot of different titles.
No, that was just their profits for the year, like overall. I think.
Yeah, because I'm kind of
Like
curious to see if they're maybe fluctuating a lot just from Future Fight sales or profits in general.
Oh no, they actually made like, I think over $1 billion, but like after they had to pay their employees and stuff, I think it went down to like 275 million. So
yeah, for their net gross.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Which isn't a bad amount.
No,
a year.
I don't think that they were struggling at all. It's just these influx of all the premium characters for just, I don't know, it just seems like they've just switched gears all of a sudden, just super heavy on trying to...
I also looked up 2016, and according to the websites I went to, they made pretty much the exact same amount in all of 2016 that they made in all of 2017. So it's like, why so many premiums like all at once? I mean, I think that maybe at the end of the year, since there were so many premiums and so many people were unhappy, that kind of stunted them from growing and making more in 2017 than 2016.
Exactly.
Because holidays is when people like want to spend.
Yeah.
And you gave them updates that they were just very unhappy with.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean, I don't really mind them having premium characters and stuff in the game. It's just when they do so many of them
Yeah,
in each
in a
update,
row.
it's like you want to be able to, I guess, do some kind of free to play type aspect in each update. But so far, they've kind of switched their model from having, like past updates. Let's say it was an update with 4 characters. 3 of those 4 characters would normally be free to play or buy a selector, and then you'd have the one paywall. And they've completely reversed that. So now it's only one free to play character, and then
Yep.
all the rest, no matter how many extra characters they're adding, if it's like just 3 characters, so then they have 2 paywall. But then if they say they go up to like 6 characters, it seems like all 5 of the other ones are going to be paywall. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what
or
their
just
logic
like
is.
really hard to get. I
Yeah.
mean, the thing is like before it was kind of nice because you'd have like a major month patch,
Yeah.
and you get maybe like 5 or 6 characters, and then you'd have the little mid-month ones like with Kate Bishop, Medusa,
Yeah.
Ironheart, and then like one of those would be premium.
Exactly.
And then they did the same thing with like I think the one when Kid Kaiju came out, he came out with like 1 or 2 other characters as well.
Yeah.
And the I don't think that was a major update if I remember correctly.
No, that was definitely
That was like a mid-month one where
Yeah.
like him and 2 other characters, and then there's a premium, but then the major like monthly updates, it's like 5 or 6 regular characters.
Yeah, exactly.
And one other thing that I was thinking about is like you said, like I don't mind premium characters, not at all. Netmarble, of course, does have to make money,
Yeah.
but it's like so many at the same time, and then at the same time you're not really adding a whole lot of game content either.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're adding a couple like minor little update quality of life type things like that are cool, like with this one with the being able to like reroll stats on an ISO or something.
Yeah.
Like stuff like
That's
that.
nice.
Little stuff like that is nice, or being able to keep the stats from changing on your chaotics.
Yeah. That
So
was
you,
nice.
you can't
that
go
did
from
as
like
well. Yeah.
like energy attack and HP to like energy defense and dodge or something.
Yeah, that was always really annoying trying to rule your chaotics, and then now we
But
can
then-
sort our cards alphabetically. I think is another
Yeah,
thing that he
just like
added.
minor things that are useful, but then there's
Yeah.
also other things that I don't really see having a major purpose in the game, like being able to like look up how many tier 2s I have.
Oh yeah.
Like stuff like that. It's like I don't really care about that. Like if I really wanted to, I could just go through and count them myself, honestly. So
Yeah.
I feel like stuff like that, like little minor stuff, is time you could put towards something more productive.
Mhm.
Like maybe some sort of new game mode or something.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's like it's neat that you can do that, but if you don't put anything with that, it's like, well,
Yeah.
you kind of should use that time for something a little bit better than just this. I mean, if we got like a new game mode with that, or if they had like revamped one of the game modes or something with that, it's like, oh sure, nice, we got this nice little feature now. We can see graphically how many characters we have at tier 2. We can see how many uniforms we have. Okay, cool. But just like as an update part of like a main part of the update itself, because I mean, there wasn't much in that update, so yeah.
Because with I mean, getting characters is cool, but when basically most or all of those characters are paywall on the update, you're basically not really adding anything new to the game that's gonna like pique people's interest
Yeah.
and get them into it. So they're gonna feel like basically the whole update is paywall, and yeah, it's cool you're adding new characters, but you're not adding any new content to play them in, so you're playing the same old game modes over and over week in, week out, and you're just doing it with new characters. So what's the point in even having the new characters if you can already clear all of the game content?
Yeah.
So you're
they
basically
need-
not adding anything that people necessarily need. Some people may want it, of course, like the whales are gonna
oh,
get
yeah.
in there and use it for
They'll-
like alliance tournament and stuff, which
Yeah.
most of us don't even really care about or play. So
Yeah,
it's
because that's the
so you're
top
not really
16 or whatever it
you're not
is.
really adding anything for the whole community that's generally necessary.
Yeah, and that kind of gets a little bit dulled if you add the characters in a more free-to-play manner, because then people are like, okay, we can work on getting these characters. So even if you don't add like a major update to any of the game modes or add a new game mode, at least people will be somewhat satisfied being able to work at getting these new characters and acquiring them without spending money. So it's a little bit, so it adds kind of content that way. I mean, it's not really
Yeah, because before
playable
you had
content,
like
but
you had like Shadowlands or something.
yeah,
Then like a new game mode, people were like, "Hey, cool! Like let's get all these characters now. Like I want to get the paywall ones and I want to get these ones and try these out and see how they work in this game mode and stuff."
yeah, exactly.
But there just hasn't really been anything new recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if they just updated Shadowlands, because Shadowlands again has gotten to where it was in the past, where it's just super easy to clear, and
Mm-hmm. Yep.
it's just, I honestly don't really even enjoy it now. Like I try to mix up the characters as much as possible
Mm-hmm.
to get through it, but it
Yeah, pretty much
just gets
the
old.
most fun I have now in Shadowlands is just trying out characters that I just kind of feel like playing with at the moment, or I'm like, you know what, I haven't played this character in a while, I don't remember their skills, let's see how they do.
Yeah.
And then getting used to the skill rotation and then being like, oh hey, look, they can actually clear this floor, or hey, they suck more than I thought they did.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice surprise every once in a while, a little changing up and stuff. But
Yeah.
I mean they could do another update to it now if they wanted to. Like they could go to 40.
Yeah, they can definitely
Instead
add a
of
lot
30
more
floors.
floors. They have
Because-
plenty of new characters to
Yeah, I mean
choose from.
3 characters per floor.
Yeah.
Floor. I make up words. That's how I roll.
I thought you were gonna say per pool.
But yeah, 3 characters per floor on average, maybe 6 if you want to do the entry modes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do the 3 characters times 40, 120,
Yeah.
and then you've still got, after
30,
this update,
30
like 40.
Yeah, about 40 now with the new characters being added left over. So
Yeah, so you have
Yeah.
room to fill up the entry modes if you really wanted to.
yeah, definitely, because right now that is pretty much the main game content kind of to go to is Shadowland. That's pretty much where you're going to get your enjoyment right now, where the most play time, I guess,
Yeah, 'cause-
out of the game.
Because pretty much everything else right now is just like clear tickets now. It's just
Yeah.
kind of the point where it's kind of dull. Like it's what I call like
Yeah.
10-second game modes.
Yeah.
And stuff like regular world bosses, a lot of them are 10-second game mode. Villain Siege, daily missions, special missions. It's just, you'd rather use clear tickets on as much as you can because it's just kind of stale.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You just need to do a little bit more in terms of the in-game content instead of focusing so much on paywall characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I would be very happy with just a plain update with a new game mode in it or something like that. If it adds
I would love
nice chunk of content. You
to
know?
see the one I talked to you about a little while back. I would love to see a new co-op game mode
Oh, yeah.
where it's basically, it's kind of like Shadowlands where you go floor by floor, but I thought about it some more, and I thought would be cool is if you can bring like 4 people per floor, so it just kind of
Yeah.
mixes up, having to bring like 3 people, so you have 4 people per floor, and you bring 1 character each, and there's like maybe random like what do you call it, requirements
Yeah.
to beat the floor. Like maybe you have to survive for an amount of time, maybe you have to beat the boss, maybe you beat all the minions, and then maybe there's like boss buffs where they get like poison damage or some sort of damage, or you get debuffs and randomly stuff like that. But you basically progress 1 character per floor, and then you have the 4 people and you just go as far as you can, like all the way up to the 150 characters. And I think that would be easier and more productive because you can randomize the enemies every level. You just have like
Yeah.
a random selector. You can randomize your buffs, your enemies' buffs, and stuff like that. And then so everybody's kind of getting a different experience. And then having 4 characters instead of 3 gives more room for like difficulty level.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get super difficult really quick, and you can have more like variety of difficulty. So you can add more floors.
Yeah, and they definitely could use a new co-op mode since we don't really have any kind of co-op going on right now.
What was I talking about? 10-second game modes?
Yeah.
I don't even think most of those get to 10 seconds, honestly.
Yeah, because the longest game mode now, the longest co-op that we have right now is just the World Boss Invasion, and that's just
Yeah,
playing
even
because
even
sometimes
now
you get
you
stuck
get
with people that
yeah.
don't have a strong character, so you're doing most of the work. Besides that, it is another 10-second,
Yeah,
pretty much clear.
pretty much. Yeah, a lot of the time you'll get stuck with like. I was actually in one the other day, which actually impressed me because I haven't seen it before. I had my Jean Grey, another guy had Wolverine, and the third guy had Cable, and we cleared it in about 6 seconds. So
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh wow, that Wolverine in me must have done a lot of damage." And then it was after that 6 seconds, I look at it, 91% of the damage was the Cable.
Yeah, it
And
just gets
then
that damage proc on the obelisk, and boom, boss
yeah,
goes down.
it was like 7.5% was me, and then like 0.5% was the Wolverine.
Yeah, I didn't even get his
But it
skill
was
started up.
yeah, it was the health bar one too.
Yep.
So they did like 3 million damage. It wasn't just like you have 50%, they have 50%, you got to get to the 100%. It was like the full life bar, and that was actually I was like, wow, that was actually really impressive.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it does surprise me because I guess they just come in with their character maybe at 1 star or 2 star, and of course they get put all the way up to the 6 star for the game mode, and then you can definitely see that in the damage because I've gone against kind of like players like that before. I'm like, oh wait, they've got a Cable, they've got Apocalypse, they got something like that, so probably won't be able to. It'll be even or something like that, and then I'll look and I still have like 80% of the damage. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, well maybe they didn't have an obelisk or their character's not ranked up.
I do actually like the world boss invasion though,
Mm-hmm.
for the idea that it's kind of cool that you can bring in a character and it's kind of like a test play game mode. So you
Yeah.
can see how they're going to do at tier 2 before you get them to tier 2, so you can kind of get used to the skill rotation and maybe how you want to build them before you like even well get
Yeah,
them
even
up.
tier 2 them. Yeah, it's good to test out for characters that have like a recovery or something under tier 2 where you can actually see how much extra recovery you're gonna get, or if they have like kind of like Black Bolt where they get that triggerable immunity to see if it is something that you can just chain together with the skills and be immune to pretty much damage the whole time or something
Yeah,
like
so
that.
and then you're getting like little rewards for it, which is kind of nice. I mean,
Yeah, sometimes you get pretty good rewards from the chests, at least if you're lucky. But most of the time I find myself getting dimension debris, so
yeah.
not super useful. You need to maybe work on kind of buffing the rewards a little bit more. I mean, it's good for new players, of course.
I wouldn't mind the rewards for that and like Shadowlands and stuff if we could do more with them. Because I mean, dimension debris and gear up kits, if you're at kind of the end of the game where we're at, where you've got like a ridiculous amount of tier 2s and stuff, I have pretty much all of my characters to all 20 years. I think maybe one or two. Like, of course, I don't even have Adam Warlock unlocked.
Yeah.
And then Killmonger I've got sitting at 1 star. But
I
mean, there's no real way to use it now.
yeah. It's
And
just
then if you
kinda
sell it, you
laying
don't
around.
really even get any gold for it. So I wish,
Yeah, exactly. You can't even exchange it for gold very efficiently.
so I wish they'd put it in maybe like the processor, where
Mhm.
you can like trade that in for like maybe like points or tokens or something, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you can like buy stuff from the store that's in the processor with like tokens and stuff. So then you have another way to use your gear up kits, your dimension debris, your experience chips, which I have ridiculous amounts of. I don't even use
Yeah.
because I mean, what's the point? They're
Sometimes
going to
they
get to
just
60
build up.
anyway,
Yep.
and stuff like that you just got ridiculous amounts of that you're pretty much never going to use it. Like I could probably not play the game for like 6 months, come back in, max out every character without having to collect anything
Yeah.
for Nornstone wise or gear upgrade kits or dimension debris or anything.
Yeah, I've still been, I mean, using the gear up kits and stuff because I'm still actively getting people to gear 20, and I still have more of those things that I know what to do with. Even when I am constantly using the material, it's just you get, I don't know, a little too much of it when you're just playing, when you do all of just the daily requirements, pretty much.
Yeah, and then just pretty much they're in like every game mode.
Yeah, exactly.
See it a lot in Shadowlands, World Boss Invasion.
Yeah. So I think they just need to focus a little more on kind of what they did in the past. They need to do more character rebalances, so kind of get most of the characters up to at least. They need to set like an average or a bar for like a minimum power level and kind of get most of the characters up to that point.
So who would you say is like the bar? Like, what character would you kind of...
What character would I consider that? First one that kind of like pops to my mind is like Shang-Chi or something like that, because he has decent survivability and decent damage. And then who else?
The thing that I don't want to see, though, honestly, is kind of like reworks like Falcon. I mean, Falcon got really good with the uniform, but there's just too many iframes in the game for me right now.
Yeah, they need to do that as well. Maybe work some more characters' skills to have the ignore iframe.
Yeah,
kind of like
because the only ones I can think of are Cyclops and Nova.
Yeah, because they need maybe a little more ways to counter the massive amount of iframes.
Because you're seeing how they counter like immune to all damage and barrier and stuff like that.
Yeah, with the Pierce, but
yeah, and you're seeing a lot of that now.
Yeah, and even we have reflect characters, but still, if you're in iframe, you're not reflecting the damage, so that doesn't really solve the iframe problem.
Yeah, so
very well.
I don't mind iframes either. It's just when a new character comes in and they've got 6 iframes for 5 skills, which isn't even really possible.
Yeah,
it's like, why?
Yeah,
why
exactly.
does everything have to be an iframe? Like the game, for me, like back in the days when they had just like Proxima and like Corvus for world bosses, like remember how hard that actually was before iframes and stuff? Like to get your 5 clears, like everybody used Loki.
Yep.
Pretty much everybody used Carnage, and like game modes were actually kind of difficult. Now everybody that joins the game will be like, oh, world boss, that's like super easy game mode.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to balance. They just need to balance a little bit more, I think, is the issue with the kind of the game modes and the characters right now. They just kind of keep wanting to ramp it up a little too much.
Yeah.
They need to like
not every character that's coming into the game is like super meta.
Yeah, like take Adam Warlock. I mean, he's a premium character, but he's not super good.
Yeah.
he's strong to a point, but he's basically like one of the regular Black Order.
Yeah, and I think he's a bit overpriced. Yeah, I think you do get like a bit of a refund.
You get like 1,100 back or something like that.
Yeah, which still makes it like 5,500. But I mean, when you got like characters like Magneto, like you have the 6,600 to unlock Magneto, and it's like, yeah, that's a lot, but Magneto's really good, and then you can also get Jean Grey because of it.
Yeah.
So technically, you're getting 2 pretty meta characters in the game for pretty much the same cost as Adam Warlock, who isn't really as good.
Well, that, and you also get the Magneto stage, which is amazing because you can farm his biometrics, but then when you have them finished, I'm using those biometrics on the Black Order and just all of the biometric characters that need those biometrics to level up. It really helps to accelerate that process as well. So
Which is why I wish he honestly had a new uniform this update too. I think I saw somebody posted on one of the sites where he was in like all black and it looked really, really freaking cool. So I was like, that would have been a cool uniform.
Nice. Yeah, I would have liked to have 2 different uniforms, to be honest. I mean, Cyclops doesn't need another uniform, and Wolverine definitely doesn't need another uniform. The only thing I will say, we are recording this before the update is out, so I haven't been able to see it in-game.
There might be skill changes.
Well, not the skill changes. I was going to say, at least with Wolverine's new uniform, it's back to classic Wolverine, which I really like, because I don't like the look of his.
You don't like him having one hand and a little cannon that's still got the claws that come out of it?
No, I don't like that metal stump that has claws and shoots blasts out of it.
Yeah, that
no, I like the classic
really...
Wolverine.
Well, the skill with him like shooting the little cannon thing isn't really
that's
fantastic
not needed.
as well. But,
yeah, that's definitely not needed.
I mean, you would expect with another Wolverine uniform, since the uniform effect itself didn't seem super great, that it probably would change up at least a few skills.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see what it looks like. If anything, I may get the uniform just for looks alone.
Yeah, that's why I would get the Cyclops one. I kind of like
the
Marvel Now or whatever.
Marvel Now Cyclops. Cool. He's got the red stripes or the red X on it, which looks pretty nice actually. So, I mean, few cool things, but need to focus more on content or playable content opposed to character content right now. I think is where they should be going.
It would be really nice to see a fresh game mode. I think more than new characters for me, because it's just like there's so many characters and there's hasn't been a fresh game mode in a while now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the last one that was actually a real game mode to me was when Shadowlands was introduced. I mean,
and that was super exciting when it got introduced. That's
the
for sure.
refresh up to 30 floors was kind of okay.
Yeah.
I wish there was more variety, but
Yeah.
I mean, 30 floors is nice, but legendary battle I don't really see as a game mode.
Yeah, there's not much point to that. If they added a little bit more to it, it would have been nice if they made it a little similar to maybe more like a world boss battle instead of just like, I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean the
It
rewards.
seems
I don't
too-
even play it.
Yeah, I don't play it.
I
Yeah,
played
the
it. I
rewards
played
aren't
it one
super good
time just to
either.
beat it,
Mm-hmm.
and now I just don't play it because I just like
you get
I don't
a little
have
bit
fun
of
playing
gold,
it.
or you can
It's-
get like 2 biometrics. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's that scene where
yeah.
it's just more trouble than it's worth. It's just super repetitive. There's no real.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a real point to playing it
Yep.
because it's not very fun to me, honestly.
Yeah, well, it's because it's the exact same thing over and over. It's not any
Yeah.
variety to it because it's more scripted than even like like a world boss fight is.
Yeah.
It's got more variety to it, even though you can to a point predict the boss's attack
And
pattern,
you're
but
well, yeah, but you're also restricted to certain characters too,
yeah,
which is kind of the part that sucks because it's like, oh well, I'm going into a world boss, I can use any character I want, and I'm going into legendary battle, I have to use this one character every time I play this battle.
yeah, exactly.
Because I remember I did the legendary battle for Thor every day for like the first 2 weeks, and I was like, I hate this freaking game mode. Like,
Yeah.
I never want to play it again. Unless I'm getting the rewards for the first time because I got their uniform up to Mythic. But after that, I don't even want to see this game mode on my game. Like, I want it erased.
Yeah, they should do some like periodic content or something like that, where they have like every 2 weeks something gets alternated kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
that would also be nice for like the token shops as well.
yeah, they need to
Some sort of rotation.
switch that up. Have some rotation in the biometrics that are in there, or just rotation on maybe what you can get from the chests in there or something. They just it hasn't changed since the start.
I
pretty much.
think it changed
Well,
once, but it was before
yeah.
we were even playing.
Well, I was going to say they added in the one-time purchase for the
Oh, yeah.
Chaos Nordstones.
Yeah, that was kind of nice, but I mean, they didn't.
But they didn't
necessarily-
refresh. Like if that refreshed, like even once a month would be fine.
Yeah, that would be a
I mean, that's,
bit over the top though, because they'd probably have to like minimize how many you can buy then.
yeah.
Because
Well,
I think it was quite a good chunk.
yeah, they were like a 100 pack or something like that, or an 80 pack or something.
Yeah, and you could
Pretty
get it like
good.
5 times.
Yeah, so it was nice when it first came out, but they can make it like in the Alliance store. We can get 20 a day if we use the tokens on it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it doesn't even really have to be that much. I mean, it could be like 5 or 10 a day.
yeah,
Because I mean, what do you really use the chaos tokens on? I mean, once you get to the
yeah,
end of the game, it's like there's a couple different types of Nordenstones in there, but you don't really need them once you start building them up, and you get your characters maxed out. Character biometrics,
Yeah.
same thing.
yeah, exactly.
I guess there's the custom gear, but it's all really low anyway, and you can get so much from other game modes like special missions that you don't really necessarily need it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that was probably enough about all the paywalls and ranting about
Yeah.
this and that, because there still is, value in the game, especially for newer players. I mean, they're going to be building up all of the older characters that are in the game, all the free to play stuff. It's just, I don't know, if I was a new player coming into the game right now, and say, all right, so personally, Magic is one of my favorite X-Men, right? If I'm coming into
I've
the
been hearing
game,
about that for years.
if I'm coming into the game right now and I want to pick up Magic, I want to build her up and play her, I have to spend money just to unlock the character. I mean, that's kind of annoying. So that's why I think for these updates that have multiple characters in it, they need to balance out the paywall versus the free to play, because I think that'll draw in more players. Because even if half of the characters that we're getting right now were paywall, I think they'd get more players in than having only one of them.
That's true, because like starting up, like if you started like within the past 4 months, like you're just seeing like a lot of, oh, I gotta pay for this, pay for that, and if when you're just starting out and you don't really know if you like super enjoy the game yet,
Yeah.
then having to like see a bunch of content that's getting added that you have to pay for might kind of turn you off of the game, so it might kind of alienate the free-to-play players
Yep.
that are just starting out or have started out a couple months prior. It's like they might see, oh, well, the game's going to where you pretty much have to pay for everything that's coming out now, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to invest more time into this, and I don't have my roster and the game developed enough to want to keep playing.
Yep.
So I'm still in that stage where I can basically throw away the game. I haven't thrown away any money and stuff because all the characters that I see that are coming out that I like I'm going to have to pay for, and I don't know if I want to do that.
Yep, exactly. So, just a few things that they should probably work on in the future for the updates. But
Yeah, they can definitely add paywall characters or the crystal characters, just
in moderation.
yeah,
is what I need to say.
maybe like 1 out of every 10 to 15 is a paywall.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Or
let's say 1 out of every 15 is a paywall.
Yeah.
1 out of every 15 is like a premium crystal,
Yeah.
and then like maybe 1 or 2 are native tier 2s.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you get the characters like Emma Frost, I don't know if we brought this up yet. I don't think we have. But basically, you're paying for her, and it's like, yeah, you're getting her at 6 stars, but you don't really get to raise her to 6 stars. Like the fun of the game is getting them at like 1 or 2 stars, and then collecting and building them up over time.
Yep.
But it's like, oh, I'm just gonna pay this, and then my character's basically gonna be maxed out. Yeah, you have to add ISO sets and stuff, but
Yeah, just a little more balance between the free to play and the paywall aspect as of late, because prior to these updates they were really good about making a lot of stuff free to play.
Like 5 updates ago, I think the last update that I personally really enjoyed, not just because it's like my favorite characters, you know where I'm going with this,
Yep.
but was the Sinister Six.
Yep.
Like, yeah, they didn't add a super lot of new game content, but there were new special missions. Like, there were 6 characters. They were all farmable. Vulture is harder to get, but if you play through the special missions, he's obtainable.
Yep. You can still build them up free to play.
Yeah, and I mean,
It takes a while, but
even if, like, Vulture, one of them happened to be paywall, being able to get, like, 5 other characters is really nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, just a little more balance and I'll be happy. But anyway, I think that's probably enough for this particular, whatever we're going to call this, I guess, podcast rant, discussion time with Talon and Gringo.
Yeah, honestly, I don't like hate the Netmarble for what they're doing right now or anything. I'm not like trying to complain.
Yeah.
I'm just like trying to say, like, if you're trying to get new players in, like, if I'm viewing this as a new player, it's hard to get into something where all I'm seeing is stuff I have to pay for each update.
Yeah, well, that and it's stale, at least for me as an endgame player, and I think most endgame players are going to kind of feel the same way, that it's just stale. There's not enough for them to really do as well, so just...
Yeah, you're adding characters, but, I mean, having to pay for them to play the same content over and over, it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, let us know your thoughts as well down below on what you think they can start doing maybe in future updates to help keep your interest in the game, or if you are satisfied with what they're doing for some reason, just let us know.
Yeah, if you like all the paywalls and stuff, and
yeah, because I mean,
you're like Gringo and Talon, stop complaining about this.
Yeah, exactly. Just let us know. We're curious to hear your opinions on this subject as well, because this, like I said, is the first time that we've really done a video like this talking about kind of our opinions on the state of the game and just like updates and just stuff like that. So I'm not sure if we'll do this again. I mean, if you guys like hearing our kind of thoughts about this, maybe we'll do that every couple updates to kind of give you like a look back on what we thought about the updates, or if they start changing in like a big direction or something like that, to maybe give you our thoughts on how they're moving ahead.
Yeah. I really hope they do something like really cool and really like fan appreciation for the 4.0, honestly,
Yeah,
because
that's
3
also the thing.
3.0 also looking back kind of made me feel kind of down.
Yeah.
I mean, the X-Men update after it was wonderful.
Oh yeah,
The first
definitely.
X-Men update, it was great. It was fresh, new game mode, and you're getting really hyped for the X-Men characters. You can collect most of them without doing anything
Hmm.
super like paywall or anything. But
Yeah, that is something that I've noticed though about this game. For their big updates or anniversaries or stuff like that, they don't really give much back. All the other mobile games that I played, you get tons of kind of like free stuff or promotional stuff or just like um
good sales and
yeah, I mean there's
like
just a lot
ridiculous
more.
sales, like
Yeah.
80% off or something for like one purchase.
Yeah, exactly. Or limited time items even too, which is kind of cool because then it shows that you were playing during that time. Like
Yeah,
certain games, like you may get just even something as simple as like a title for playing the game during that time period. And you can equip that title. Hey, let people know you're a veteran player, played during the time. Or you can even get like a character or a unit that was just specific to that time. Or in the case of Future Fight, maybe they could release a limited time uniform that doesn't necessarily even have to change their skills. It just changes their appearance, and then you can just show that you were playing during that time or
yeah.
that you
It's just
you
something
know
that makes people feel happy to play the game. That
yeah
they don't feel like they're basically being forced or they have to do something to be able to be like competitive or get an advantage in the game.
yeah
It's just something to
yeah. Just
basically
say
make
thanks
the
for
community
playing.
kind of happy.
Yeah, thanks for playing our game.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, like I said, that's it. We're gonna wrap it up now. So I hope you guys enjoyed our rant here, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
See you later. And he didn't stop the video.